Well, good morning, everyone. It's Guido coming at you with a coffee talk from the left side of the Atlantic.
And it's Pilgrim from the correct side of the Atlantic with his cup of tea in this new Guido mug.
Brand
Because the other
new.
one broke, so I had to send for another one.
Oh,
Don't get them free, I had to pay for them.
Your position should include as part of the contract one free mug a year.
Yeah, for those dishwasher chips.
Well, not so much as part of the contract as the contract. That's the
Oh,
whole.
the
That's
contract. Yeah,
that
that's
that
my
yeah
total. Okay, that's
yeah.
actually an increase on what I'm getting at the moment.
That's why we're still in negotiations. I don't.
Yeah, I'll take the pay rise. Thank you. Yeah, check it out, Wayne. Look at this. It's summer in Cambridge. It has been 70 plus degrees all week, and I'm like baking hot. It's cool. I've got something to share with everybody. As a tangent, I've made a major purchase.
Oh,
And Guido doesn't know what this major purchase is, but I'm going to explain it to you guys now. It's summer, Hawaiian shirt. What do you think I bought? A major purchase. I mean, a biggie.
a lei, the little thing that goes. The thing goes on your neck. You bought a lei.
No.
No, not to go with the wine shirt. Okay, you bought a.
No.
You bought
It's a
a
major purchase. It goes.
a motorcycle.
Oh no!
Because you can
I've already
drive
got
with the
those.
wind going through your non-existent hair.
Through my hair.
Yeah, through the one flopping
One.
one hair
On the
flopping.
top that floats.
Yeah.
No? Well, I'll
No.
give you a clue.
All
I'll
right.
give you a clue. I'm sure you'll get it when I give you the clue. It goes on water.
Cliffy got it in chat. That has
Cliffy
to
got
be
it.
it. That has to be it.
Coconut bra. That I wear on my ears. Yeah. Doing the sashaying.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, what was the hint again?
It goes on water.
It goes on water.
Major purchase and it goes on water.
One of those little floating rafts, so you can lay around in your pool.
Close. Very close.
A
Wayne's
dinghy.
close with life raft.
A dinghy.
Bigger. Bigger. This is
You
a major purchase,
you
by
bought
the
a
way.
boat?
I've bought a boat. Do you want to see a picture?
I do. I do want to
Hang
see a
on.
boat.
Hang on.
If it's like any English boat, it has a 2 horsepower engine on it. Oh boy.
What do you think?
There it is. What is that?
That is a galleon to go in my fish tank.
Oh, okay.
So, well, fish are happy.
Right on, right on. So is it a saltwater tank?
No, I can't. It's far too much work.
Those
to
are
do
hard,
saltwater.
yeah.
I'd love
Yeah.
to have a saltwater tank, but if you have, if even you have a degree of salinity that's not quite right, it kills all the corals and the fish just
Yeah.
die on you.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's so much easier with fresh water.
Well, there you go.
But it's a tropical freshwater, so I can still have exotics in there. You know what
Right
I mean?
on.
But the good thing about marine, like you were saying there, the saltwater ones is the different types of fish you can have are endless.
Right.
They are endless. They are so much. You get the Nemo fish and all that. You get all these brightly coloured
Yeah,
stuff that
yeah.
live in corals. But yeah, no, it's a freshwater. So yeah, I went down yesterday. I went, I'll get a boat. So cool.
I was like,
He'll-
wow, that is a major purchase, but not exactly. Hey, Randall's here, solo Mackin. How are you? Lots of pilgrims is in the house, of course. Wayne, there's Guido here as well. Wayne's here. Who else we got? Thoris, welcome. Cliffy, just around midnight in the house. Kedge, what's happening? Sparky, and I hope I didn't miss anybody else in there. Welcome. It's time to talk about tanks and coffee and fish and boats. Fish and boats. I made a purchase too.
Did you? Was it
Yeah.
a major purchase?
No, no.
Okay.
In fact, it is so unmajor. I'm looking at it right now, but we'll get that in a minute. It's part. It's part. We'll get that in a minute.
See, I see you've got one of the mugs I sent you.
I
Good
do.
man.
I do. I've got the
Nice.
and on the. I can't even read it. On the eighth day.
I'll read it for you.
On the eighth day, God created the Air Force because even the Army needs heroes.
There you go.
Or as we say, air power when you're all out of hua.
Yeah.
When you're all out of hua. No, well, sometimes, Kedge. Sometimes we're here for tanks.
Eventually, we'll get to that.
Channel news. Well, Battle Pass is done for me, but that's been a while ago. 100 Battle Challenge. The last tank I did was the P-43 TER. I just finished that one for 100 battles. somebody made a good suggestion. I don't remember if it was in chat. I think it was on a YouTube comment. I said I should go through the 100 battle challenge tanks I've done so far and give like an update. I think I'll do that someday soon.
That'd be cool.
Because just really quickly, I was looking at it. You go into the old service record here, go to vehicles, scroll down to where it starts at about 100. You know, I've got some with 120 and whatever. I don't know if these were necessarily tanks that I took only to 100, but it looks like I stopped about there. But here's where the just 100. I have 109, the T1. That's pretty funny. I think a good portion of those are. Remember when the format for one of the competitive, what was it, leagues, there would be a T1. You'd have a bunch of tier 8s or something like that, based on the number that it was 42 or 41 or some weird number. So you could put all tier 8s, and you'd have a T1.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cliffy's got it right there. 7 by 42.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of those are when I was running a T1 in those formats right there. But you see that when we get to where it starts at just 100 here, and look at all these with 100. It just goes on for a while.
Yeah.
And then of course these are all the ones that I got right to 100 and then quit. But some of these, you know, people will request a tank, and I'll play a game or two along the way. But that's a bunch at 100. That's pretty funny. What I've been doing is I'll scroll down and see where my slider looks. So if I take the last 100 off, looks like I'm well over halfway there.
Right, okay. And you start to get into those tanks that you don't normally play, I guess.
Yeah. And a bunch of these are 5s and below too. So I'm not
okay.
I'll get to the 5s, so it's 6 is only. I don't think I can filter on this page. It doesn't look like you can.
Right, so you don't really want to go down the road of doing 100 battles in a tier 1, do you?
No, not really.
The like tractor.
No.
Oh!
I mean,
that would be absolutely mind-blowing, wouldn't it?
Maybe we get there somewhere in the next, 15 years.
Well, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do tiers 1 to 4.
There you go. Then we can get you
playstyle all over.
Then we can get you to start creating content.
Yeah.
The Pilgrim channel.
Yeah, the Pilgrim's tier 1 to 4 channel. How to be a unicorn.
There you go. Next stream, road to Pilgrim. Well, holy cow. See, that last part of that word is dangerous. You got to be careful with that.
You've got to be careful.
Yeah, the next stream is going to be Monday for Stack Up in the afternoon.
Right.
And then Thursday should be my day off, so expect a stream on Thursday. Also, I'm Class B Bachelor for the week.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
Which means I may actually be streaming a bit in the afternoons and evenings since I'm going to be on my own time. So you may get a lot of extra Guido streams this week.
We sort of missed you last week, or I did. I didn't. You weren't streaming Friday, were you?
Well, I did stream.
Did you later on though?
Thursday or Friday? I don't remember. I did stream once last week. Okay. Yes, the work has picked up.
Yeah.
And we got a bunch of people on leave because of Christmas. So the extra days are going to be few and far between, unfortunately, for at least for the next month or two. And then I have a trip coming up in July, so I'll be out of pocket for 2 weeks in July. Yeah. I'll still have connectivity.
Well, I'm away the first 2 weeks of July, so.
Okay. Yeah, so there may be some missing coffee talks along there. I will have connectivity, so I'll probably do videos, but it might be videos of moose and deer wandering around the woods.
Yeah, with you with your overgrown beard, your shotgun over your shoulder and on your backpack.
Yeah.
We've had them before, haven't we?
Yes.
The caveman of Utah.
Caveman of the woods. Yeah, looking forward to that actually. Yeah, all right, I think that's it for channel news, guys. Nothing else really big right there. A lot of good suggestions from you guys. The other one I'm trying to contemplate and figure out is the critical terrain one. I'm trying to talk a little bit more about it, but a lot of you guys have asked for maybe a series on that. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that. The problem with the map things I've done is that once I get into it, there's so much. It just becomes diarrhea of the mouth, and I'm like this, that, and what about that, and this, and the other. So what my challenge is to parse it down to something useful, without trying to cover every frickin' angle of it, because there's so much.
Yeah,
a scout.
I would feel your pain on that, Guido, because I did the just to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
I did the the skirmish maps for my previous clan. And I'm not joking, it took me almost 3 months of going through it all using StratSketch and everything else, because there are so many different variations
Yeah.
of where you deploy, how you deploy. Even if you think it's the best deployment, of course, on skirmishes, there are a million ways to deploy, and different tactics you can use, because you're as a group. If try to do it for pubbies, wow, there's like 1,000,000,000 different ways that people are
Yeah.
going to disseminate all over the map, aren't they? How do you do that? Crazy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, Daniel Boone, Aussie. So there's a question. Where is it? How did Guido meet Pilgrim? Well,
Yeah, there was a background.
as I recall, Pilgrim saw me in game and thought, "My God, that guy is probably the coolest person I've ever seen playing a tank." And so then he sent me a note and said, "Is there any way at all you would actually talk to me?" And at first I was like, "No, probably not. You're British, which is weird all around." And so then he sent me some money and some roses.
I
And
did.
yeah.
Yes, I did.
And then I
It was
said,
a lot of money, actually. A lot of money.
we went on our first date, and the rest is history. I mean, it
Yeah,
was.
absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I didn't get to first base, though. Even if my white bits were showing.
No, yeah, the white bits were. You remember, actually? I don't actually remember. We started comments on YouTube or some such thing, or you were.
Yeah. I fired a couple of comments in YouTube, and eventually you were kind enough to respond to them, which you do. You actually do. You're very well at that. A lot of people don't, but you did. You respond. You respond to all the comments on your YouTube
Most. I
channel.
try to, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
most
all,
does.
but most,
And
yeah.
so, yeah, and basically I ripped you a new one because you're an officer and I'm non-commissioned, and
Yeah.
I then said you need a bit of class on your coffee talks because it's just going downhill.
Well, ultimately, what good is a solo officer without a non-com around?
That's
And what
it.
does a
Yeah.
non-com do without an officer around? They're up to no good.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. I need
So
somebody to keep me in check.
somebody, I have to be the fun police,
Yeah,
and you have to show me where the fun is. So
yeah, exactly. This is the fun bit, sir. Now, am I allowed to do it? No. Okay. Rank
well,
has its privileges. You go off
yeah,
and have the fun.
yes, you can do that at 10 when I leave and go home.
Yeah.
Because I will have put
Yeah.
my time in and my
Yeah.
face will be shown, and anything after 10, I don't want to know about. As long as you guys you don't end up in jail, / you can't get them out of jail before I find out.
Yeah, exactly. That was my forte. I always managed to get my boys out of the clink before my platoon or commanding officer ever found out. So when I left, and my farewell speech, I told my commanding officer was then a general, and my farewell speech was to General Cross was, "You just don't know how many times I saved your arse, sir." I said basically the troops under our command or your command were a rum bunch, and you just thought they were all angels.
I will bet you, and I'm sure it's not all the time, but I will bet you he knew more than you think.
I mean, he actually said that afterwards in the bar. He said, "You do know, Mr. Davis," he said, "you do know I knew everything that was going on, but I chose not to speak."
Yeah, I bet that wasn't exactly true, but I bet it was truer than
No.
you might have thought. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't let go because at that point you sort of think, "Did he know about that? Shall I ask him?" Oh no, best not.
yep.
Yeah,
Well, I mean that's why you have people doing what they do.
that's exactly that.
You don't want
Exactly that.
a bunch of
No, you
celibate
want
celibate
characters.
monks. You
Yeah,
don't hire
characters.
celibate monks to carry rifles around.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
So
Absolutely.
that was good
There you
random.
go.
That
Aussie
was,
Bush Ranger thinks POMs are weird.
well, that's a
Look,
fact. That's a
well,
fact.
it is a fact. We exported all our weird bits to Australia back in the convict days, so there's no weird POMs left.
It's all very straight laced.
Yeah.
All very straight laced. All right, that is it for channel news. Any other good questions here that we missed? There were a couple. Did need a lot of fertilizer for the garden. How much is a lot? Random coffee talk. Tom with some
Are we
serious
talking
emojis.
£300? We're talking bags of £50 or what?
I'm sure it's not more than the 10 cubic yards of sand I moved around.
I've just noticed you've gained extra muscles around your neck and everything from all that heavy
Yeah,
lifting.
yeah, and mostly on my forehead right here. What image, Caduceus? Oh, the image of the, yeah. Shouldn't you have a hanky tied around your head and you're not your
Knotted hanky, and I've got my long trousers rolled up, and I've got
Yeah,
my feet paddling in the
yeah,
sea.
yeah. You don't actually own shorts. You just roll up your trousers
Just roll up my trousers.
for that
British
off day where
don't
it
have
actually got
shorts,
warm enough for that to happen. Yeah, and you got to go sit down in the beer garden
Yes.
out on the grass.
Yep.
All right, cool. Let's should we chill?
I think we should.
Okay, so here's the purchase. This is what I've been waiting for. Here's the purchase. I have it right here. So I went on Amazon, as we discussed. Remember, you offered to send me something.
Oh, I did. Yes.
Yeah.
I did.
And this
I
actually,
did. You didn't want it,
I did, and this actually goes back to NCOs and officers, and
Right.
who knows how to procure stuff and who does not.
right?
So I go onto Amazon.
Right.
It's a brave new world. I'm going to do this on my own self. Like big
Wow.
boy, I got my big boy pants on.
Very big boy
Yep.
pants on.
And I don't pay too close of attention, but it's a 4.5 star thing that I'm going to buy.
Right.
I'm
Right.
buying a blue light, as we talked about, right?
Wow.
So do you have yours?
I do.
Let's.
ready.
Can you fire it off real quick just to kind of show people how
Right.
how it's
3,
supposed?
2, 1. Here we go.
All right, that's how it should work, right?
That's how it should work.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Blue
And that
light
looks-
special.
No, I have something that I have one too. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh look,
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Is it?
Well, is it?
Well, that's the thing. So I purchased this light.
Light. Yes.
Yep. And I get it. It comes in one of those really flimsy, crappy Chinese boxes with a crummy printed picture on the outside. You're like, okay, I hope this even works. So I open it up. I put my batteries in. Like I said, I didn't pay too close attention to the description. You really should do that on Amazon, by the way, guys. You really should. Pilgrims does look bigger, and there's a reason, but hold on. Close, Sutek, close. Sort of works. When you go to Amazon, you need to go to the reviews and make sure you
Yes.
read a good section of both the pro and con reviews, because they're going to let you know some things. Just don't go off the stars or the first couple good reviews, because those are usually the Chinese bots that are trying to push
Yes.
their item. Dig down, just peruse it, because somewhere in there that you're going to get a clue as to whether it does what you want it to do. Okay, now put yours up there and fire it off again.
There you go.
Now here's mine.
No! 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 Yeah, you got to turn it by hand. You bought the manual version instead of the automatic, but yeah. I will get
Oh!
you one and send it to you this week, sir.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
You will not believe what just happened.
it started to spin.
When I hit it on the table. Are you kidding me? Hold on.
If he said hit it. Do it again. Yes! We've got blue light flashing! No! Okay. Look,
What the heck?
look, look, look.
What's it say? I can't read it.
Made in China.
Oh yeah, that's what mine says.
There you go, look. Brilliant.
I think we might have the
Absolutely
exact same one. Does it have the button that looks like that on it?
I got, yes.
Oh,
Exactly
it's the exact
way.
same crappy one.
Wow! I didn't get mine from Amazon. I got mine from a son.
Did you have to bash yours on the table to make it work?
No, mine worked from mine. I put this on my motorbike, and everybody gets out my way.
I'm so excited
Brilliant.
now. I'm so excited.
Woohoo! We can't wait to get to the shilling bit where we can flash our blue lights.
I worked on that whole monologue for a long time.
You see, that is a typical commissioned officer thing. You
Right.
should have had your non-com with you, who
Yeah.
they'd give it here, sir, threw it on the table and gone, there you go, it works. What's the bloody
Because he'd
problem?
have grabbed it and just started smashing on it. What's wrong with this stupid thing?
Yeah, the old officers like that. I've read the instructions. I'm looking at it. I've stroked it carefully. I've talked to it nicely. Non-coms like that. Just hit it on the table, sir. That'll work.
Have you tried smashing it into something?
Yeah. Crew chief, my jet's not working. We'll drive it into something.
Drive
It'll
it
work.
into, bash it into some stuff. All right, let's chill. Let's chill. Now I'm excited about
Let's
showing.
chill.
Now that my light's working, this is going to be great.
Yeah,
This is gonna
I'm
be
getting
great.
ready. I'm getting ready. You tell me when.
All right, guys, let's sell some stuff for wargaming. What do we got?
Indeed.
Well, they do have the Sherman VC Firefly for sale. That's actually pretty good. I like that tank.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Thunderbolt's okay. It's got more armor. I don't really like the little American 76 guns. I like the I think these are 90 mils or whatever it is on the anti-tank versions.
Or it was the 3-pounder, wasn't it?
3-pounder,
The
okay.
3-pounder they put on it? Yeah.
So those are cool. Here's a tank that destroyed the game, so you can destroy the game all over again by buying a Chrysler K.
Yeah.
If you do buy a Chrysler K, you have to do a rage video and post it on the internet. That's how
Yes.
it works.
Yes.
The
Absolutely.
ISU 152K. This is the tank they sold after they took away the gun that everyone liked and put it on a premium. So
Was it the
that's-
BL-10? It was
Yeah.
the BL-10, wasn't it? The gun.
Yeah. They took it away because it was too powerful, and then decided to give it to you in premium. That's good. And then there's the there's the Renegade, the Renegade, which is probably
Yep.
one of the best tier 8 premium tanks.
Yeah.
Except it has a
Yeah,
Tuma. It's not a Tuma. You'd have to watch the tumor.
Yeah.
We get a Su-100. That's all right. The 1357 is still raging around. These are exclusives. Probably just to
Yeah,
me.
they're to you because I haven't
Yeah.
got them.
The million credit bundle is still kicking around. So that's it for the featured, which is totally different than specials. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. Of course it is.
Makes sense to me. Starter kit, standard stuff, premium count, not much going on there. That's the standard stuff. You can still use your coupons, which is nice. The 5/1 is out. That's exclusive to me. A couple packages of tanks. And then we get down into the other laundry list of exclusives. Looks like the Founders bundles are gone, so if you didn't pick your Type 59 up, it's too late.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the Canon Jagdpanzer 105 as a premium for £33 with a
That
coupon?
to me, that's one of the best casemate TDs. If you had the
Right.
casemate TD, if for some reason you felt like wallowing through the filth of casemate TDs, that would be the one to do it in.
Did you? I sent you that replay of that casemate TD sneak around the back bit. I
Yeah.
don't know if you get a chance to look at it, but basically, whatever Himmelsdorf map it was on, I managed to get down. It's the one Abbey. I think it's the Abbey Himmelsdorf or
Yeah.
Abdorf. But yeah, I managed to get around the back of the heavies, on where all the heavies brawl, and it was like a cat with cream. There's all these heavies facing the wrong way, and I was in my Jagdpanzer, which was fairly quick loading with a massively good crew, and I just mullered them all. They didn't even realise until I'd hit them 3 or 4 times that somebody was behind
Somebody
them.
was behind him.
They must be going, where's that come from? Where's that come from?
Like, wow, those guys in front of me are hitting me a lot, even though I don't see them firing. Wonder how that's happening. Those are great situations too, because when you flank people and they don't know, because you see them, you hit them a couple times, they're firing, then you'll see a turret start to move, like somebody's moving their mouse. You know, the turret kind of wanders around, and then that one guy finally figures it out. And you see the hole and the turret turning out. Oh, okay, now they know I'm here.
That is cool.
And then there's the panic, right? Because now they're all running in every direction. Ah!
Because they were on that ridge bit, and of course they were then trying to move to avoid me. They were getting hit by our heavies, and then across from the town, they were getting hit through the gap. They were like, I'm sure they just shrugged and went, what the hell, we're just dying.
I guess I'll die.
Yeah.
All right, so someone said E25. It is sort of E25-esque, or maybe they were suggesting
okay.
the E25 is a better casemate. It probably is overall. But as far as
Right.
but the E25 is kind of a niche thing. It's, you know what I mean? It's really good at what it does.
Yeah.
The cannon is about as fast as an E25, not nearly as small, so that hurts it in terms of what E25s can do.
Yeah.
But the gun is a laser. It's really
Really
accurate.
really
And as I recall, the velocity is insane on that thing too.
right.
Take a quick look at it because I can't remember.
See, I've got the E25, as well you know. And I was playing with getting the Canon Jagdpanzer, the 105, purely because it seems like a massive gun,
Yeah.
you know, for that type of casemate.
Well, so the
I'll have a look.
APCR is doing. Oh, I've got it blocked like a muppet. Hold on. The APCR is doing 1,478,
Wow.
which is is about as fast as it gets in the game.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
right
yeah.
up there near the
Yeah.
top. And even the heat is at 1,100, almost 1,200, and that's pretty fast for heat.
Wow. That is fast for heat, yeah.
And
Yeah.
even the HE is at 1173.
Good
So
grief.
yeah,
Normally a HE is one of those lob it and watch it go
yep,
in, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
My dispersion.
I might spend some money at Wargaming on your recommendation. I'll tell Wargaming you recommended it then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, you guys all know I'm not a huge fan of casemates, but this one I did not mind as much playing. It has a great dispersion at .29, and I'm not even really tryharding. You could put food and other stuff, directive and such, and knock that down as well.
Right.
So that's
Cliffy
really
says you can
nice.
get it for gold. Is it in the? I didn't realise. Is it in the?
Really?
Yeah. Is it in the store? In the store, as in the tank store, on the game. I'm having a quick look now.
Where does that?
That'd be handy if that
Where
was
does
the
that
case.
live actually?
I'm just having a quick look now.
Where's the bond? Where do you get the bond vehicles from?
You go to store.
Uh huh.
You go to store, and then you've got the drop down, and you've got vehicles in there, haven't you? And then you've got
Oh, tech tree. He sees
clusters
it in the tech.
vehicles.
He sees it in the tech tree. So just go to the German tech tree. Dun,
Oh,
dun,
right,
dun,
okay.
dun, dun. There it is. You can get it for gold.
Oh, right, cool.
And is it discounted with if you put in? I don't remember. Is that one of the tanks for Commander AF?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it's one of the tanks for Commander AF, but when she has those tanks, they end up being discounted.
I've got it for 9,500 gold. That's pennies. That's cheap as chips, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go. Probably since a lot
Cool.
of that gold was more or less
Yeah,
very
well,
heavily
it's Christmas
discounted
gold.
Christmas gold, right?
Yeah. Well, that's cheap as chips. Right, well, I'll get that today then. That's cool. Thank you very much, Cliffy. That's
Sutek
excellent.
Sutek likes the Chinese, the WZ. That is also a good one. That is also a good
Right,
one.
okay.
It also has the benefit of having a little bit more usable armor.
Right,
And
okay.
actually its dispersion is its dispersion is 0.35, so it's a little hard. Got all is that that's about the same. DPM and such. I do like this one too.
Is that in game, or do you have to go to the shop to buy the Chinese version?
Good question. Let's find out. We'll jump in the check
Blah,
the
blah,
tech
blah,
check.
blah. Yeah.
It's also
Yeah.
in the tech tree. So you get the WZ
Right,
as well.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me have a quick look. I'm gonna have a quick look. I'm gonna see now. So 9.5 for the German,
Yeah.
and no 9.1 for the Chinese. I've got something against that. Hang on. I've got a little clock against that. I must have it on rental. Ah.
There are Commander AF has 4 tanks. We'll get to that in just a minute. And maybe it's that.
Okay, mate. Cool.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, so I think the French CDA is similar to all 3 of those. They're relatively fast. The CDA doesn't have the armor the Chinese one does.
Right.
CDA is closer to the 105. I think the 105 is better because it's just more accurate. But the CDA I also like. So the more mobile kind of casemates that you can flex to a medium-ish gameplay if needed, plus cleanup
Right.
end game is what I like.
Okay.
So there
Yeah,
you go.
I know you particularly don't like casemates. I've got a few casemates that I enjoy.
Yeah.
The Jagdpanzer, while we're on casemates, the German Jagdpanzer. I'll tell you which one it is now. I think it's a Tier 7.
Yeah.
I actually have fun with that because it's a bit of a puncher, more so than the Ferdinand.
Yeah, it does
I-
reload pretty quickly, and it does have pretty
Yeah.
decent alpha for its tier.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
I do like that,
Yeah.
and I like the Badger. The Badger is a nice casemate. It's not that mobile, but it's a nice casemate. It's
Yeah.
pretty solid, and it was a real struggle for people to fight against that when it first came out. People just didn't know what to do with that. It was almost as good as being overpowered. It was a solid piece of kit. So yeah, there's a couple of casemates that actually.
Yeah, those are more the assault ones. The Chinese
Yeah.
assault TDs are actually pretty good at that job. Obviously the T95, the T28, 110E3, some of the other Badger, Tortoise, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are all solid for just kind of trundling forward and punching people in the face.
Yeah.
All right,
So we look
specials.
the specials. Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's all right. I don't think there's anything else to add in any of this stuff, to be honest. That's pretty much it. Let's jump over to the missions part, because there are a couple things to talk about here for everybody. First one is the code is 1 year down, and that's the 1 year anniversary. That will get you some rentals, which I think, does that show up here? No, it doesn't show up here. It'll get you 5 times personal reserves. It'll get you 4 different rentals and a mission to get you a decal and some cola. So that. Here's the other one, though. Operation Overlord. Everybody enjoying Operation Overlord? Did you ever track all of the how to get the coins and stuff and all the missions?
No, I've gone to the Liberator store, Guido. I've noticed I've got 8 coins. I've no idea how I got them.
Yeah.
And it buys me nothing.
Well,
I don't know.
this phase 1 is over, but if you're paying attention on this, you could come here and then at 2 in the afternoon or whatever, it would tell you what the missions were.
Right.
Cliffy, I also have 16. Yeah, that's my best. So here's how you figure that out, guys, in case you weren't paying attention. So basically what happened is they had a pretty cool idea that you had to use an Enigma machine to decode the code. But they didn't really give a lot of good information or hints on which website to use, because there's multiple on the web that have basically replicators of Enigma machines. Cool idea. But they have a bazillion settings. So you have to have the settings right. So as far as I could tell, there was no real information on what the settings were to set. Some of the sites had more of the settings. Some of them had multiple versions of the Enigma machine. So there was no real help along that way. So it was all kind of trial and error, which if that was the intention, I guess that's what they got. That was irritating. So essentially, if you played, you probably tripped some of these. So all that aside, because that's gone. If you want to know what you have, I'll get rid of Chrome here. Go into your
phase 2 starts today, doesn't it?
Phase 2 starts today. Go into your and you can get some more coins now, but the missions are advertised. Go into your depot. Go down here to the parachute.
Right.
Go here to the Liberator store and click on that. And then, I don't have 16. I have 15. Cliffy got me. I have 15 coins, which has unlocked the things that are 15 or less, so I can buy those things.
Right.
So there's a lot of little goodies on here.
Yeah. I mean, I've got 8, and I didn't even know I got 8. It just happened to click on it. I thought, oh, what's that?
Now, what I don't know is what these camos look like. Does anybody have? It's not on the article either. What the damn camos look like? I have no idea what these camos look like. If anyone's got a link for the camos, let me know, and we'll put it down there as far as what they look like. Because the top 4 are camos. I think I may grab the kits. That might be the best deal for me. Or the equipment.
Yeah.
But I need another 5 for the equipment. All right, so that's how you know what you have right now. Don't go spending all your coins right now, because you can still get some more.
Okay, how do we do that?
All right, you go over to the article again and slide on down. Phase 2 starts today. Looks like it's already started. And then here's the missions. Beachhead, Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juneau, Sword, and I won't even try. Mary Glace, say Mary Glace, something like that. So,
I've got you. Right. So these tokens, crate tokens, they get you coins, do they? Is that what it is?
I don't see any crate tokens. Where are you looking?
So I'm looking at 2021 D-Day event. Sorry, what? Oh, you're not in missions. Sorry, where are you? Are you in missions?
You just get a liberation. I'm over on the website. You just get a liberation coin.
Yeah.
Now the question is, does that mission show up in the UI? Yes, it does. Okay, so once again, let's go back over to the UI. Now you're able to track it. So there's no secret missions this time. It's in the UI. 2021 D-Day event. It does have tokens. But I think basically all that is. Oh, that's that's what I love about wargaming. The crate token is the coin.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the liberator
but
coin.
it's something different, aren't they?
Yeah, and you have to have 5 keys to know that. You'd have to have 5 keys.
Oh dear.
So it looks like all these can go concurrently and at the same time. And 24 hours.
And to be honest, Guido, they're not difficult. Be amongst the top 10. Top
Yeah.
10, top 10, top 10.
I think this is in any number of battles too. So
Within 24 hours. Yeah, within 24. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, is that right? What's the 24? Does the 24 hours matter? Once per day. Okay, there you go. Once per day. Look at that.
Yeah,
So there's a
once
bunch
per
of
day.
coins left then. So if you do every mission every day, are these all once per day?
Yeah. Yeah.
They are once per day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 6? Math in public. 6. Okay. How many days do we have? 6 from 15 is 9. 9 times 6 is 8,000 coins. Right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
54, is that right? 54 more coins?
Yeah, and you can then exchange it for equipment, which you can sell later on to make some silver. There you go, Pilgrinomics. We're going to make some silver.
54 coins. Is that the math, you guys? Equals 5 keys. Correct, Wayne.
It does. It does.
All right, Cliffy's got a link for what the styles look like, so check that out. That way, help you out a little bit. See if that's the style you want. With 54 more coins, that's almost 70 coins for me. That's actually pretty cool.
And if you go back to the...
it's only Overlord? Okay. The others are already known, aren't they, Cliffy? I think those are styles that already exist or already known. Like, what are they called? Where's this? I got to go back over here. Goodness gracious. They are American Assault. Yes, those are standard. So you can probably see American Assault by going into your exteriors. You're probably going to need it.
Yeah, it should be in there, shouldn't
You're going to
it?
need an American Tank, I believe. Click. Come on, stop. All right, we do this. There we go. Let's do one we can change. There we go. We don't need repairs. American Assault should be a preset. There it is, right there. So that's so that's a pretty standard. The link that Cliffy put in will let you know the special one. That's why it's a little more expensive.
Right.
All right, so there you go. That is
But
operation.
there is that. I mean, I was joking about it, and it is a pilgrinomic thing. If you earn 20 keys, for example, 20 not keys. Start something now if it's 20 keys, 20 coins. These are class 1 equipment you can get for it, which equates to what? 600,000 silver?
Yeah.
Right. And the coins cost you nothing. And
Correct.
if you end up with 70 coins, that's 1.8 million silver.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yep.
Wow.
Now that's quite a bit of stuff to do in one day,
Yeah.
but it's not impossible. You're going to trip some of that stuff, so you're going to end up. I think without even trying, you're going to have 30 or 40 coins.
Yeah.
Wargaming is using
If you're
Pilgrinomics.
playing 20 battles a day, yeah. Ish.
So C-Play has completed 2 more, so he's told us 3 of the missions so far today. Cool. How many games, man? How many games did it take you?
What? To do what?
To get he's working those missions already today. So just curious how many games it's taken him to do that.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
I think without really trying, 5 games. Okay, I think
5.
most people could get most of them a day. If you're doing a couple hours of gaming a day, you can probably knock that out no problem.
Right, okay. No, that's cool. Because if, like most of us, I mean, I'll put 2 to 3 hours a night into this game during the week. So, it's 5 days, and then weekends even more. So, yeah, easy done, isn't it?
Kedge, I believe
There
they
you go,
are.
see?
I believe they are using Pilgrinomics. I think
They are.
it was clearly
Actually-
the wave of the future when it was first mentioned.
I didn't want to mention this because I thought, it's probably a non-disclosure thing, but Wargaming did contact me, reference Pilgrinomics, and asked me for the formula. So I sat down and worked the formula out for them and sent it to them. So, and they gave me They gave me a free Guido mug for doing
Was
it.
that done in the great big wall in your house? That's a chalkboard with the ladder,
Yeah,
and you in
behind this, yes, behind this screen.
the calculation went
Yes.
on, and yeah.
Don't forget, I've met the man. I've met the man of the black holes, haven't I, Mr.
That's
Hawley?
true.
So
That's true.
he
Maybe you
showed
got
me.
a secret.
Yeah.
That's right. A
He told me.
victorious secret.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So that's D-Day stuff. Just wanted to let you guys know that. Also, too, and in addition to, if you did not know this, there is a crew training weekend, which I didn't know until today, and I looked at it. Guess what? 50% discount, my friends, on crew retraining. So if you've got crew you need to sort out, today's the day. There's also a conversion for free XP to crew XP, whatever. But that's a better than normal. So if you tend to use free XP to increase the skill of your crews, then you can do that as well. Also, there's some pretty good missions right here.
Yeah.
And they were daily, so you had to be going because you had to get the one token to move on to the next. That is also in your UI. So if you come over here, you can see where you are by looking at missions. Scrolling down to is it D-Day Special?
D-Day Special, I think it is, Guido.
That's right, because they named it something different for some stupid reason.
Yeah.
It's Crew's Crucial Weekend, so they named the missions D-Day Special.
Yeah, of course they did.
I don't,
Nothing like confusing the masses, is it?
I mean, it makes perfect sense. You know, as usual, that's the silliness that happens. So I've done day 1, day 2, day 3. Now we're on day 4. And piece of equipment, day of premium. That's actually pretty cool. There's a lot of goodies on this, by the way. So if you've been playing, you should have been getting those things.
Yeah.
But of course,
I've done day 1, day 2, day 3. I didn't trip crew is crucial. I know I'm day 4 now. So how do you trip crew is crucial then? It just says be on the top player with the experience earned.
Crew is crucial was the first one. Top XP available after XP first daily victory is that's you're getting extra crew even after your daily double.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Got it.
So it just goes
Okay,
every time.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you're in the top 10, you're getting double crew XP. For
Okay.
the switch is good. That actually really helps train crews up really quickly.
Yeah.
So that's that. I think that's everything for shilling and whatnot. Well, none of that
Well,
tripped
one
the
thing
blue
on the-
light
on the-
special.
Oh, blue light special. Well,
No,
before
no.
we get to that,
Oh.
Commander AF, she gave a code out, and in her video she also said there's lots of secret codes. I've yet to find one in the video. I'm feeling like the 5 key thing right now because Commander AF's code worked, but I've tried also like Cabmex duck camera. I thought, oh, that'll be one then, so put that in. Nope. There was a couple of others which were like quotes that they were saying or she was saying. I thought, oh, that's one. I can't find these secret codes anywhere.
There was one, and it was a limited code. I don't know if you guys got it. It was, I want to say 1 year Annie, ANNI, 1 year anniversary. But it was limited in a number, and it was something like 10 or 20, or maybe 5. It was 200% credit boosters.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I missed out on that
Like
one.
5 of them or 10 of them or something. I don't know. I put it in as fast as I saw the code, but it had been long gone.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, the forum code.
Yeah.
There's a post. And I think it's War Child's forum code post. They post the good ones in there, but a lot of times by the time it gets posted, it's been gobbled up. But there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. But it was a little bit nefarious, wasn't it? The secret codes, and I've gone through the video. I never watch Commander F's videos right the way through. I normally just go to the code and do it. I had to watch it 4 times. I was like stir crazy. My eyes were googled out here.
Yeah.
Having to watch it 4 times just to see what codes there were. Failed miserably.
Cool. I think that's it for shilling, man. We just didn't really have any.
But there was no real blue light special unless you want to go to the casemate TD and flash your blue light.
All right, there you go. Get
Yeah,
yourself,
we're done.
get yourself a 105. Get yourself a 105. All right, subjects du jour. First things second. Steel Hunter's back. Is everybody excited? Is that crickets I hear?
Is there a dustweed rolling down the street?
There goes the tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed.
Cricket.
Yeah.
Cricket. Stage 4. Stage 4. All right. So
Yeah.
related to this. Did you guys see the screenshot from Frontline?
No. Now I'm interested.
The
Now you have
screenshot from Frontline.
interest.
Let me see if I can find it. I think, does anyone in chat know what I'm talking about? The screenshot? Yes, Wayne's got it. There's a screenshot. I'm not going to bother finding it since it's been verified that somebody else saw it. I'm not making stuff up. The screenshot says, it's like the opening screen or whatever. It says tier 8, 9.
Right. Okay. Now I'm interested.
So speculation. The question, of course, obviously, that is begged with that is, does that mean they're together? Which would really defeat one of the greatest parts of Frontline. Or are you going to be able to select tier 8 or 9 and it's all 8s or all 9s? Also, if you were to pick another tier to do separately, why in the frick would you pick 9?
No. I would have a complete demarcation. It would be tier 6 or tier 8.
Correct. And that's where I was going. 6,
is where
people would love 6 because there's so many premiums at 6.
Absolutely.
Wayne, what
no idea why 8 and 9.
Dwayne is Deep Throat. That's right. Code name, of course. Code name.
No.
And I am Bernstein. You're Deep Throat. I'm Bernstein. We're gonna figure this out. Yeah. So I mean, from anywhere, anything past this is all speculation. But Woodburn and Bernstein, right? Geez, I don't know. Oh my God, would they really do that? Yes, I guess probably.
They would see that as a natural thing to do. Those two tiers, for some reason, they would.
But what if they're together? What if it's 8 and 9 on the same fight?
That's not the credit. Well, if you're playing tier 9, you're not going to credit grind like you would if it was tier 8. In my opinion, it's going to cost you a lot more.
Sure, you will. You'll farm 8s. You won't even have to carry much gold around.
Of course you will.
You won't have to carry much gold around.
Where does the wheelies fit in there then? What's the tier 9?
Well, thank God we can put the EBR 90 in there now. So now we can have EBR 90s, FL10s, and Lynxes. Be perfect.
Wouldn't it just?
Yeah, it'd be great. M53 55s, that'll be fantastic. We really need better Artie in there too. That'd be great.
Oh dear. I mean, I love the mode. I just love it, but I just don't want them to break it. Don't break it, please, Wargaming.
Yeah, Kedge, number one sketchy confirmation on Coffee Talk. I'm sort of speechless. I hope the demarcation is separate tiers together. I wish they had picked something other than 9. 9 is a cool tier. Maybe it'll be a lot of fun because it's mostly tech tree. Of course, then you've got some overpowered reward tanks, right? The 1B, the AE are very good. My opinion of the 777 is much better than it used to be. It's actually pretty darn good. It's better than a lot of the other tier 9 heavies.
T55A, this Kedge.
55A.
Yeah.
T55A. So I don't know. We'll see. But if it's 2 tiers together, that is going to cause issues. There's going to be a lot of.
Well, there'll be the old hand ringing and ants, isn't it? It's going to be a lot of that.
We're going to have to get the pitchforks and the torches out. The char.
Torches out.
The char. Good call, Sutek. The char would be there.
What's the Brusque? The Brusque is 8, isn't it? Tier 8.
Yeah, Wayne Wright. A Leo PTA against 8s. Just lol penning. Raging around the map at Mock Snot. Chars. The char would be an absolute beast. Absolute monster.
Yeah.
In front line.
I wonder.
Concept 1Bs, yeah.
See.
Because they're fast. The Concept 1Bs are fast. For a heavy, they're very fast. I mean, it just goes down. I don't know, man. So there you go. That's on the list.
Well, it's on the radar. How it all
Right.
pans out is
Right.
yet to be seen, isn't
Yeah.
it? So,
So,
yeah,
like I said, Steel Hunter's coming up. That's a week, so June 7th to the 14th. To be quite honest, the only real benefit for it right now is if you are in the bitter end of your battle pass and you're wondering how you're going to get the points. There are a lot of points available in Steel Hunter. I think bang for your buck in terms of time spent. If you can do well enough and get some of the missions on Steel Hunter, you can crank out more points for a given amount of time than you might be able to in randoms. It also gives you the opportunity to, if you do have a lot of time to play, to do both, in which case it
yeah,
really
yeah,
increases your point totals. So
yeah.
if your back's against the wall and you really want to finish Battle Pass, this is your opportunity to add a bunch more extra points in there. So that's really about the best use of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because there's
But
nothing
it's
special.
talking.
There's no special reward to it now. So
Oh no, that's the shame about it. I mean, but the fact they've linked it into Battle Pass is a good thing
yeah.
because it's not a mode that I would personally go and do. But those people who do that mode, they're not dipping out by doing the mode on Battle Pass, so it's a good thing.
Now, oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
Audio podcast.
That is
Terrifying Dr.
well,
Love. Now what? Now where would you post that?
yeah.
That I've never thought of. That's a great idea, actually.
A lot of the podcasts go on YouTube, don't they? But they're visual. They're not. They're
So
not
how do
audio.
people? What formats do people listen to the audio versions? Like, what would be the? I don't even know what websites would do that or how you would do it. That's something to
I
definitely
mean,
look into.
yeah. There could be local radio, or there could be national radio, or iTunes, or Google Podcasts.
I'll have to look into that. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
That's not a bad because people will be driving to work and listen to it in the car or whatever.
Yeah.
What a great idea, terrifying doc. That's terrifying, Doctor Love. A terrifying idea.
Terrifying
A
idea, Dr. Love.
terrifyingly good idea.
Overcast. Not heard overcast. Overcast to me is the weather in Cambridge.
Sutek, let's not. No self harm, my friend. Just because Steel Hunter is scary.
Yeah, you can go away and drink a cup of tea. That's probably as harmful as you need to be.
I know he's kidding, and I'm kidding too. It's all in good fun. I understand what he's saying too. I'm completely on board.
Yeah.
Now, I will. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I actually like about it, and it was sort of that way with Frontline, but we have this delay while they mess it up because they need some time to really screw it up properly.
Yeah.
In the past, we've had these extra modes that people have liked, but they always come and go, and they never come back. Steel Hunter has its core of people who like it, and it's periodically have been coming back, and they haven't messed with it too much. And it gives a sense of I don't want to say normalcy, but you know it's coming back, right? So you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it, and you know it's coming back, so that's cool. I mean that's a good thing. It gives what's the word I'm looking
It's a
for?
hook. It's a hook. It's an expectation. So
Expectation,
it will,
schedule, a schedule,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and it's not around all the time because I think, especially on NA, they have to be careful about splitting the player base amongst too many different things. But it comes now. I like that Battle Pass. I love that Battle Pass is added to it, but I think maybe there should be something unique to the mode. I would not say it needs to be a unique tank. I would avoid that if I was wargaming. That's why they have such an issue, and that's also why they combined everything into Battle Pass, so that the unique tanks now, right now, ranked is separate and has some unique tanks. I wouldn't make Steel Hunter have unique tanks, but I would have them have unique things like 3D styles, continuity,
yeah,
Sutek, that's the
yeah,
damn word, consistency, Bogey, thank you. Both those work perfectly. Yeah, so that there's something to get out of it, but it's
yeah,
not a tank because
yeah,
this
yeah,
a
yeah.
special reward tank to modes people don't like. That drives people crazy. A 3D
Yeah,
style or something
yeah.
that they okay, fine. If I want it, I'll go get it, kind of thing.
Or even a whole wad of blueprints of your specific chosen nation, so you can actually unlock a tank off the tech tree.
See
Something like that.
yeah, exactly. I've said this before. Wargaming's imagination is stunted.
Well, they don't
With
connect things. They they wouldn't connect blueprints to that mode as a prize, if you like, for becoming in the top 10 or something like that, because they don't think connections like that. And I don't know why, because it's a total game. It's global, it's total, it's rounded. Each part has an effect on each other's bits, if you like.
Yeah. Well, Cliffy has a good
right,
point.
Yeah.
Cliffy has a good point, and I agree with that. I guess I'm not really that mad about unique tanks that are attached to modes, because that's actually a good way to get people to play it and make it interesting. As long as those tanks become available in some other way later, I don't care. It's the tanks that are completely against the mode fence that I can't get to without, no kidding, grinding through the mode, and it never appears anywhere else. This has been a complaint of mine for a long time. Thank you, Obvious Reasons and Terrifying Dr. Love, for the 2 follows. I very much appreciate that. Welcome. So Cliffy makes a good point right there. What about things like, if you think about it, there's so many things. What about things like play Steel Hunter, and at the end of it, you can work for up to a 50% discount on a couple premiums.
Yeah.
Or even as a marathon to get a free premium that already exists.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a million ways you can connect modes into the game that for some reason they see this. Maybe they've got separate teams working on. I don't know how they're working it, but there seems to be a disconnect to what they could put into a mode. They go Steel Hunter, great mode, blah blah, but it has nothing at the end of it. Mm-hmm. And for those who enjoy that mode, they get the enjoyment of playing that mode, but there's nothing really at the end of it. For those who don't enjoy it, they might actually just do it because, hang on a minute, I might get, like.
Well, to be fair, you get battle pass points, which you are getting goodies out of that. So I do understand that's the hook, or supposed to be the hook. But if you had a couple of unique things in there, unique to Steel Hunter, I think you increase the want of people to play. This is a fine line. I know I want my cake and eat it too here, right? I'm talking out both sides of my mouth. I'm saying I don't like Steel Hunter, but I want something to make it worth playing. Okay. Then Wargaming could go, well, you doofus, we had tanks, you moron, and you complained about that. So I get it. I understand my duplicity here, But
no, it's a consideration as opposed to duplicity. It's a consideration that, not to make it more attractive, but just to give it that a little bit more oomph. Because it's a very stale mode. It's a very one-sided mode. There doesn't seem to be, there's not the diversity of most modes. Steel Hunter. It's very much you either hide or you go out and you get, like you and I, get killed within the first 3 seconds, and you think this is rubbish.
Sutek, my experience with the company is that they're extremely siloed. It is a very 90s kind of situation going on, or slash my military experience. Everyone's got lanes, and you don't venture into other people's lanes.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of, like you said, not a lot of integration or cross flow. It happens, obviously. It's not a monolithic statement, but I don't know. I just think there could be a couple things. It could be premium. It could be extra PRs, personal reserves. It could be discounts. It could be something that kind of entices people to maybe play it just a little bit more. Again, break. You get battle pass points. It's a great way to grab a bunch extra if you can play Steel Hunter. I will tell you, I played it more than I'd ever played it when I did those videos last time it was out. By the time I got a little better at it, I didn't hate it as much. And once you accept that it's hide and seek simulator, and that every now and again you're going to be in a position to actually win or kill things, but you're really trying to get to the top 10 and then call it a day. And you want to do your daily missions to get your battle pass points, which now I don't have any reason to play because I have all my battle pass points.
That's the point, isn't it? Once you've reached the only thing that you're going to get out of the mode, you probably wouldn't do it unless you enjoyed the mode.
Yeah. So that really goes back to having some kind of incentive.
Yeah.
Speaking of battle pass,
give it a second look. For example, if they'd attached an element of national blueprints, I would have given it a look. I would have given it a look. Because some of the things I've got on, some of my tier 10s are XP unlocked due to blueprints. I've yet to grind through the other tanks, the other tiers. So when I get to the tier 10, it's costing me nothing other than silver to get that tank. And that's quite nice to me because it means I've just got to focus on grinding 7, 8, 9, and there we are, I've got my 10. So, it's something like that, along those lines, enough to
Yeah,
unlock a tier 10.
yeah,
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 I'd probably do it. I'd probably do it. I'd go and hide for half an hour every
yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah. Because that attaches it to the larger game.
Yeah.
That's another problem with Steel Hunter. It's not really attached to the larger game.
No.
You're not training crews. You're not grinding tanks. You're getting some of the periphery stuff, battle pass points, which does affect the basic game. So again, that's another fine line wargaming has to dance along. Does everything they have to do have to be attached to the larger game? Well, I kind of think it should be, but then they never break out and try different things. That Steel
Yeah.
Hunter is the most different mode that I can think of that they've ever put out. I mean,
Yeah.
pixel tanks and the 8-bit and all that stuff, but still, it was very similar in concept. Steel Hunter is very different, quite different. The spotting mechanics are different. The power up stuff, which I don't particularly care for, but that's different. You know,
Yeah. I mean, Dr. Lover's agreeing there. He said it's just too disconnected from the actual game itself. It's not
yeah,
giving you anything back into the game.
yeah.
Um, Thorus, is it Thorus 08? They're saying they didn't have missions for bonds after the maxed out Steel Hunter last year. Well,
There you go.
mine,
I didn't even think about
yeah,
bonds. That's great.
yeah,
Actually, bonds are probably one of the best things they could put at the end of things like that, and they do it with ranked.
ranked,
Ranked
yeah,
is
yeah,
heavy with bonds. That's a huge draw for people on ranked is getting obviously the tanks, but also the bonds. And tanks for bonds. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I mean, things like the M60 and everything. It's nice to be able to get it with bonds.
I mean, I'm
And
probably going to be
also,
playing this season of ranked, this season X, this kind of test season, because I would like to get to Division 2 if I could, so I can buy the 50T for bonds. I have 20,000 now. I don't even care if I have a discount, which I don't because I didn't play. By the way, we're kind of randomly going everywhere right now, but your discount from last ranked season will still count. So if you didn't get there or you didn't buy one, you can use the discount as well. Also, the Skoda T45 is in there.
right, yeah,
So there you go.
yeah. There's some good points coming up in chat there. Some really good stuff.
Yeah, unique rewards
Yeah,
are a disincentive because they cannot be given elsewhere. What do you mean a disincentive? As in it makes people irritated. That's kind of where I come at it. Sometimes I just don't want to bother because I don't like the fence it's behind. I don't like the fence that it's behind.
it forces you to play a mode that you don't want to play if you want that particular reward. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And it's a weird gameplay. It's like I said, it's hide and seek simulator. I mean, really, you're just trying. It's a game where you're trying to avoid playing, I guess, kind of. Now, you can be very good if anyone in chat is really good at it. And what I learned is if you can jump on a couple people early and crank up the experience by doing damage and get ahead of the power wave, get ahead of the wave, you can start killing things off pretty quickly.
Yeah,
But you got to be careful because if you get in a 1v1 and another one or two people show up, you can get taken out pretty easily. So that's a bit of a dangerous
yeah,
game. But you can get very powerful very quickly, get some kills out of the way, get a lot of damage, and then last to the end. And now you got this big monster tank and maybe hide and seek simulator guy only upgraded a few times because he hid so well, and you're going to end up
yeah,
taking him out. So I saw that
yeah,
happen a lot. It happened to me quite a few times. So there is a negative to just simply hiding completely and
yeah,
not playing. And there is a slight incentive to actually playing and shooting things, but it's
yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah, I do understand. I mean, I have played it a few times, not a great deal, but yeah, and I didn't know until I watched your videos that you actually get more powerful the more damage you do to the
Yeah,
enemy tanks. I thought it was all about the power-ups, going to
yeah,
get the
yeah,
control wands, whatever it was. So, and I did a lot of the hidey thing, and you're quite right. You come out and you got this thing that you face. However, if you do the hidey thing and you're in the top five, you're already earning off it anyway.
yeah,
So if you hide and you become in the top five by doing absolutely nothing, and that was a possibility.
yeah,
Certainly back in the old, I don't know about this particular iteration of the mode. I don't know if they've changed it slightly,
yeah.
but certainly when I first did it the other year, it was like just hide somewhere. You're in the top five because you're the top five survivors.
Well, Cliffy's got it. Really, the best way to increase your chances is to be aggressive early. And when I say aggressive, don't go in and just try to kill somebody. Take some shots and damage them and run off. because you're getting experience, and early on that damage experience boosts you quickly, but it's kind of the standard exponential growth or whatever. It might be analog, but it's more experience to get to the next level. But if you can damage some guys early, be aggressive, and then, like you said, go cautious. Now try to work, because everyone else is going to start getting better too. Wait till you get to the top 10 and then start thinking about making your move. Or simply just getting to the end. Usually what I saw is maybe 2 or 3 tanks ended up in the last little section.
Yes.
If the game didn't end before that, which sometimes it did, sometimes somebody just took everyone out before that happened. Then at least you got to the top, 2 or 3 at that point.
Yeah, that's true. Where
Go ahead.
Power ups and all that lot.
I know. It's just not my thing. And Aussie Bushranger makes a good point. I'd be in the same tank, and that's one of the irritations. Someone mentioned the spawn points being random. Sometimes you just got lucky and there were 3 things right close, and you got powerful, and then you hit a guy you found a couple times. Now you're a beast, and I would find myself jumping, going, I can't find a damn power up. I'm wandering around. All of a sudden, the guy shows up, and he's like level 3 already. I'm like, well, shit. And you can't get away. You're running away, and he kills you. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Oh dear. Yeah. Back to garage.
Yeah. Yep. Just got dropped in on the low ground on Westfield in my tortoise. Oh, that is the worst. So yeah, that's like, all right, what do I do? Do I go up the hill? Do I go left up the hill, right up the hill? I'm out of the game either way for a very long time.
It's a nightmare. Why on earth they spawn like that? I know. Is it random where they spawn? Lights and heavies and TD, or is it? It is random. So you've got no guarantee of being in the right spot.
Yeah. Well, Westfield's the one with the 2 wildly different spawns, one really high and one really low.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Where were we? We just got done with Steel Hunter. Let's get off of that, so to speak. Prime Gaming. All right, this is interesting. The new Prime Gaming thing is a little bit different. Let me try to find it here. And I don't think they've done this in the past. If they have, I totally missed it. We're going to go over to Harkonnen's blog here. So the June Prime Gaming is Silent Huntress. There's going to be a commander this time again, so that's cool. With the standard terrible setup of, 6 cents 0 perk is great. So it's a 0 perk 6 cents. And she's going to have repairs and jack of all trades. Oh my god. Okay, anyway. That aside, there's a STA2. That's the rental I thought it was. It's going to be with Prime Gaming. The Type 62 and the 4503. Okay, very good. 5 missions, 10 onigiri. Great. And then some missions, fellas. Some missions. I don't remember that, at least not recently. I don't think there have been missions with the Prime Gaming. If there have, I've missed it. But this is pretty cool. So there's definitely some extra stuff. Look at all these extra goodies with missions. Very nice.
Cool, isn't it?
Yeah. And there's missions for the tanks that are the rentals. So if you own them, you can do those missions, and there's more goodies involved. Events, demounting kit, gun rammer, demounting kit, vert stab. So very cool. These missions have to be done in one of those 4 tanks.
Yeah.
So, and I don't...
Which still counts if you've got them, doesn't it? You don't have to go out.
No, as far as I know, yeah. I would imagine
Because I'm looking at the Canon Jagdpanzer 105, which I intend to buy later on. And it's now going to slot straight in there. That is nice.
Now you have to have Prime Gaming, of course. You got to have Prime Gaming.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's coming up. I would expect that in a week or so. It's usually around the 15th, 16th, 17th, somewhere in there. Mid-month, slightly early mid-month, something along those lines. And I think that is all that. Now let's go back, because what I really want to talk about is a super special article. My friends, update 1.13 common test.
Oh yeah.
Did you read this article?
Yes. Yes.
These are my favorite kind of, because this is content that writes itself.
Indeed it is.
Okay, so let's see. Common tests provide us with valuable feedback to help us prepare. Many changes have already proven their value and usefulness. No indication of what those exactly are. But several questions still need answers, you think? We want to thank you for your involvement, even though we didn't listen to you, and tell you about the additions to the mechanics of inflicting damage with HE, which means that it didn't really work. We had to change stuff. Ready to answer. I know I'm being hard on these guys. The effective penetration of the HE shell after passing through spaced armor will be reduced. Apparently it was too good. Remember how they made it to where it will penetrate screens, as they say, which is tracks,
Yes.
spaced armor, things like that.
Yeah.
So they didn't like how that worked. So now they're going to do a multiplier. It's not just the penetration. It will depend on the thickness of the screen, and the reduction will depend on the thickness of the screen and a multiplier. Basically, they want to reduce the damage that gets through the screens. I think what they found, and this was interesting to me, is that shooting these big heavy tanks on the side, read into that Russian tanks with spaced armor, was still causing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And they did. Then they know likey. They know likey. So now there's a
They didn't
special.
want their IS-7s
Yeah.
and their
Yeah.
and all that.
So now there's a
nonsense.
special modifier.
Can I interject in there about the modifier?
Yeah.
It also, and I'm not sure, I think it's on the next Harkonnen blog about it, but if you hit a pixel of a building or a tree or a gate post before the shell hits the tank, it reduces its impactability.
Yes, but
Like
it will still go through it.
It'll still go through it, but it'll reduce its its effectiveness.
Well, at least it won't. At least a tree.
A pixel. If you read, I think it's the next one on.
The trees don't even have really hitboxes, though.
Well, is it a tree or a...
I think he's talking about like walls or the concrete
okay.
barriers or buildings that an APCR AP will go through. Some of those buildings will go through. Some of them they won't. I'm assuming depending. I'm not exactly sure how that works, to be honest, because some of the shacks you can shoot through and still damage the guy behind him. Some of the buildings, some of the destructible buildings will always eat. Even your AP shell will not go through those things.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's hard to tell which are which. You can sort of look at it by the flimsiness. Some of those little like wooden shacks, you can shoot through those. The buildings that are buildings but also destructible, AP won't go through those. AP will just detonate or knock it down or whatever.
Okay.
But my understanding is that HE will now go through some of those and won't just explode on them, which has always been irritating as hell.
Okay, that's the difference, because that's what it used to do. If you fired HE and there was an obstacle in the way, HE would explode on the obstacle as opposed to going through. Right, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Okay.
our main goal since first sandbox was to reduce damage dealt to tanks frontally, and we did it. Now we want to balance the penetration chance and amount of damage. Okay. More vulnerable area covered by a spaced armor. Russian tanks mostly have most of the spaced armor in the game. Probability of penetrating the main armor, pinch screens decrease, especially vehicles with, look at this, especially for vehicles with weak side armor. That cracks me up. They did not like how their Russian tanks were taking damage in the side, it would appear. The effective penetration of HE shell after passing through spaced armor is reduced ×3, for example, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we may need to make additional adjustments to this multiplier during the common test to find its optimal value. They're spitballing. They have no idea. All they know is they don't like the spaced armor tanks are getting hit harder than they would like based on making their spaced armor not detonate HE shells anymore.
Yeah.
They don't know what the answer is. All they know is they don't like it. That's what that means. Introducing any changes to artillery and HE shell mechanics will affect the entire game environment. You think?
They needed a common test to actually know all this, didn't they?
We understand your feedback and concerns, and will consider any future changes once the new mechanic is... Look at this. No, you don't. You don't understand feedback and concerns because you're putting it in, so you don't care.
Yeah.
You don't care. You had this great idea that they've pushed and said this is we put this great idea together. We know what's going on here. I don't. Did anybody complain about the spaced armor being penetrated? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe the Russian players did. No
I
idea.
don't know.
And then they say they
I've not seen
understand
anything
it.
on the forums on NA. Put it that way.
Yeah. And then they say they understand it, and then in the next breath they say, "We're putting it in."
Yeah. But that's like, if you read the Russian forums, that's the standard answer by the developers or the community people. When somebody puts something in the forum on that sort of vein, the standard answer is, "That's the way it is, comrade. Get on with it. It is what it is. Deal
Yeah.
with it. Why are you moaning? Just get on with it, and we're going to do it anyway." It's like, we don't give a toss.
So someone said the chieftain players were complaining, but why would they be complaining? Because that's a pretty heavily armored tank.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Especially hull down.
Yeah. Or is it not? Or is it just the angles in the turret? Were they? I don't know. Were they getting pinned in the turret with the spaced armor?
Oh, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I don't know. It's.
And then you've got some armor which looks like spaced armor but isn't. I mean,
Yeah.
off the top of my head, the Super Conquer's got that extra layer of armor on its turret. Does that have an effect? I don't think it does. I think if it penetrates, it penetrates. It doesn't do any different.
Oh, Riven. Yeah. They were complaining with the present game mode with HE. Yeah. Absolutely. So naturally, we should change the entire game around two completely overpowered tanks that generally good players have, instead of actually nerfing those tanks and making them in line with everything else. Granny, what's going on? We'll just do backflips and contortions and try to somehow balance HE around the chieftain and the 279 early. That makes sense.
Absolutely. I found that piece on Harkonnen was saying. Can I just read it out, Guido, and perhaps you can explain it a little bit better for me, because I'm stupid. The increased coefficient of armor penetration loss for HE shells fired by tanks and tank destroyers is now applied when interacting with destructible obstacles, i.e. external modules and screens. The penetration of HE shells is reduced by a value that is equal to 3 times the thickness of the obstacle.
That seems fairly straightforward. I mean, if it's a 20 millimeter screen, 3 times 20 is 60 off of the pin. So if you had I'm assuming if you have a 90 pin HE, then that comes out to a 30 pin at that point, plus or minus the RNG factor and all that.
So that fits in with the whining Winnies saying HE is taking too much damage. They've actually reduced the amount of damage it can do.
Penetration, not damage. The damage is the same.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, armor penetration.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't penetrate, it doesn't do any damage, does it?
It does damage. Well, that I don't know. Good question. Because they don't have the sphere anymore. Does anybody know in chat if it doesn't penetrate a screen, does it explode and not do damage to the armor underneath?
Good question.
Don't know. I like this here. Medium and low tier vehicles with HE based gameplay. Derping Sherman, KV2, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Currently, there's insufficient data on these vehicles from the sandbox, and Common Test 1 to decide on any changes to the performing characteristics of these vehicles. We'll carefully monitor the situation after the release and implement changes if necessary.
Well, they say that all the time, don't they? But do they? I don't think they do.
Well, that means they have no idea what it's going to do to Tier 6. They have no idea what's going to go happen with KV2s and derps, Sherman derps. They could be wildly underperforming, wildly overperforming, somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
I just...
Now, this is great. So, first of all, they say we don't know what's going on at mid-tier. And then they say changes in the performance characteristics of HE vehicles. Based on the current data from the common test, our changes had a positive effect on the efficiency of these vehicles. We'll therefore leave them in the release version, but also carefully and separately monitor the performance indicators for each vehicle after the release.
I'm totally confused.
I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I have no idea. That's why I wanted to talk about this article. This is all over the place, and maybe
No
there's
idea what's
maybe
going
there's
on.
some.
Best you can say is that there's going to be some form of rework of HE, and we're just going to have to like it or lump it.
This
Oh,
is and
dear.
this is fantastic, just absolutely beautiful. Well, I don't know why they did. What is that? Heavily armored vehicles, in particular the 279 Early, T95 Chieftain, and T95 FV2, are they two different tanks?
Well, yeah. Good
What is
question.
it? What the hell does that mean? Why are they listed separately? Aren't they the same damn tank? No, this is the Tier 8 version.
I was going to say this is tier 8, isn't it?
Or is
That's
it?
what that is.
T95 Chieftain. No. No, that's a heavy. I have no idea what they're talking about. Are those two different tanks? Anyway, that was bizarre. The main damage caused to these vehicles is not typically from HE shells. Therefore, the impact to the combat effectiveness of these vehicles should be minimal. Inflicting damage on the vehicle's frontal armor with HE shells will become more difficult, but this is the expected outcome from a design point of view.
Well,
If that's true, then what was the problem?
yes. I'm just completely confused because surely, if you've got heavily armored frontal armor and you get hit with HE, there was never a problem. There was never why. I don't know. Like, somebody tell me what the problem was.
They never did. They never did. Well, they often said heavy tanks took too much damage frontally. That's always been the discussion. Why are they even discussing these tanks? Well, I mean, everyone in chat knows why. It's a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
They're worried about 0.05% of the player base complaining
Yeah.
about their
Yeah.
precious reward tanks. I saw a guy in a 279 early with a 49% win rate the other day.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe the light switched on and he was just making it happen.
I don't know. It's a struggle, really, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, I mean, I've seen unlike that. I haven't seen that, but I've seen people with 90,000 battles and they're at 46% win rate. And you think, how do you do all those battles and not get a little bit better every time you do it? And then
He
you've got to
was
think, well, actually, some people just go out and just play. They
he had
don't
like
care.
200 battles in it. He was running a 65% win rate. 48,
Yeah.
49%, 50% player, 65% win
Yeah.
rate at tier 10 running that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. You know, that just says everything, doesn't it? You don't need to have worked your way through and get yourself skillful in the game. You just need to get a 279E and sit in it all day long.
Grinny, you're good enough. I think I'm good enough, but I probably won't get it because I don't want to sit down and go through the contortions because you really got to plan out how you're going to do it. It's not really a set of missions unless you're extremely good. It's not a set of missions you're going to get through by just randomly playing.
No.
And you got to kind
Yeah.
of work hard at it and figure out which tank you're going to use for it, and
Yeah.
that's beyond me worrying about too much really.
Yeah. There's
So
far too much focus required to get it that way.
yeah. So I don't know, guys. I don't know what the heck is going on with this or what the hell the point is. Here's something I did not know. Let's see. Value of armor penetration. So SPGs exhibit no deviations or increase in efficiency. I guess penetrations are a bit of a problem. They do understand personal missions are going to be changed a bit, especially if you're talking about less splash and needing a bunch of stun. So you have to use the stun shell to do it, that kind of thing. And some of them are stun and damage, I think. So the changes to the shells don't really help some of the missions there. Personal missions, so they're looking at sound intelligence and we're going to get to this in a minute. This is fantastic down here. Sound intelligence and other mechanics. Currently, 2 of the 3 mechanics for counteracting artillery are available. Bright shell tracers and fire markers on the minimap. field of fire, or which way you got hit from. The third mechanic is available as a commander perk. This is great. I love this part. We considered the possibility of giving this skill to the radio operator, but not all vehicles have a radio operator. And in those cases, the role is given to the commander. Not true. Not all of them. Sometimes the radio operator is someone else in some tanks. However, we understand the commander is currently the busiest crew member. True. And this forces players to choose other useful perks. True. This is why we're now actively reworking Crew 2.0, where our efforts are also aimed at resolving the workload problem among crew members that we just increased.
Yeah. I've actually got that down as a note. Crew 2.0 is effectively on hold now, according to the Soviets. Oh, can't say that now. According to the Russians. According to the Russians, Crew 2.0 is on hold because there's some major implications with the HE rework and everything else that comes with it.
Absolutely, Sutek. Absolutely. The loader, anyone would have been better than adding another perk. Now, I don't know how useful it is. I've read that it's useless, so it might not. It may be in practice, it may be a non-factor. But if, let's say, it was a good perk, which I assume they wanted it to be, right? Because they put it in the game. They've put a new perk in right before they're putting in Crew 2.0. Then they're telling us that the commander is really overloaded. Then they add it onto the commander, and then they say, yeah, that's why we need Crew 2.0.
Yeah, the end justifies the means, or something like that.
Da, comrade! Good.
We've now made a reason to have Crew 2.0.
Well, that reason has always existed.
When they say the commander is too busy, it's a pixel game. It's not a real life guy.
He's making tea.
Oh, I'm so stressed because I can't deal with all this shit.
He's over the teapot inside the British vehicles making tea.
Yeah, go away. I can't be bothered spotting for you now. I'm making a pot of tea.
Does he also have to make the pudding?
They don't have pudding in tea. I've told you this before, Guido. Off air, we will discuss this, sir.
Yeah, but do you have to cook the pudding, or does it come cold?
Off air, we will discuss this, sir.
But I want me pudding, sir. So that was fan, and then the coup de grace.
Oh yeah.
Steel thy loins, M44 drivers. Prepare for the incoming fire. The American branch, which I thought was an interesting way to say it, because the verbiage says, "We'll make adjustments to the M44 before going to release."
Right.
Could you imagine? Afterward, we'll monitor the statistics for the other American SPGs, because frankly, the 53-55 is overpowered. Not overpowered. Needs a nerf. Not overpowered. That's not necessarily true. But it is a overperformer within the tier 9. It's a beast. It really is. So this, I am mostly looking forward to the angst, the declarations and recriminations, the hue and cry, the angry outbursts. This is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to this. Now,
I love obvious reasons. Comment there. I guess they didn't say nerf of the M44. They could make it stronger. That would be ideal.
You sir, are a bad person. I can't discount that possibility. Not out of hand, anyway. I can't discount it out of hand. Yeah, adjustments. I like how they don't talk about nerfs or buffs or anything like that. Well, they always say buff. They never say nerf. They say adjustment. They say adjustment or something like that. They advertise and tout that we're buffing, improving, whatever.
What's the other word they use? The B word, the balance word.
Balance.
In the interest of balance.
Yeah, in the interest
we've
of...
made adjustments.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Now, here's the truth of Tier 6 artillery. Nearly all of them are completely overpowered.
Yeah.
I'm using the
Without
wrong
a
word
doubt.
again. I'm using the wrong word.
No, but we get what you mean. They are significantly
I think
awkward.
I think people go to the grill if the M44 gets too hard hit.
Yeah.
The grill is actually pretty good. The Su 8 maybe Aussie. The Su 8
Yeah.
or the grill,
Yeah.
one of those two.
Yeah.
Overbalanced. OB.
Balance,
OB,
yeah.
overbalanced, yeah. The issue of Tier 6 arty, is, as I've said in the past, in my opinion anyway, is that they fire relatively fast. They can damage Tier 8s pretty well. They have splash. They have stun. And because they fire so fast, they are a very dangerous tank.
Yeah.
SPG, arty, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm with you on adjustments, Sutek. I think they should do a lot more adjustments on things that are obviously an issue.
Well, we've said this before. What they need to do is they need to do incremental changes as opposed to big banhammers or big hammer changes. So as the game evolves, something gets focused on, and you go, well, actually, that's making the game slightly less balanced. So let's make a small adjustment to that.
Like
That's how they should run it.
I'm looking forward to the release in terms of the tracers and the indicators and such. I'm dusting off the M53 55 counter arty machine, and I'm going to start hunting some arty. Now the problem is the shells have changed. That once again they're going to give you better essay on where the enemy farty is, but I think you're going to have a harder time killing them, even more than this last change, which really killed. So the last change really killed off when they decreased damage and did the stun thing. It's really hard to counter now because you need a very close or direct hit. Used to be with something like 53, 55, or T92, you just had to get somewhere near them, and you were going to take out arty. Now you got to be very close. So I end up damaging arty more than I kill them now. Now you're going to have a good tracer and have a much better idea where he is, but at the same time, I don't know if the shells are up to the task because there's no dispersion change. It's all
dispersion. There's no
right.
There's no splash on it. Yeah, you've got to hit direct, haven't you?
Yeah. So
I mean, it's nice. It's nice when you do get that one-shot kill on the arty. It is nice, but it's quite rare these days to do that.
Well, obvious reasons. I see what you're saying, but your accuracy isn't any better. Or are the AP shells more accurate? I don't think so. I think that you're still going to have the issue of missing.
Yeah. You will because the dispersion rate.
What you were counting on the past was the splash being close enough. So the dispersion was bad and already noted, but already had so little hit points. You could still get nearby and kill them. Then they went stun, less damage. Now that was harder. Now you have 3 different shell types, and so I don't know.
I mean, I will probably, once this kicks in, I will probably do a couple of days of arty counter artying just to see how it feels. Just 3 or 4 hours.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to give it a shot. See if it's something that you can do. That's part of the answer to arty, at least in my opinion, that I've been talking about for years. Is they need to be in more danger from the beginning. But if you're going to do that to them, you can't just make them die faster. I guess you can. I mean, a lot of people say, "Yeah, great," but let's be realistic. We're trying to get everybody playing the game and enjoying it.
Yeah.
At some point,
it has to have the ability to have an effect on the game, but not the effect.
Otherwise, why is it there? Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, no, absolutely. And there are some people out there who really enjoy and just play art, which is absolutely fine. I've got no problem with that at all. But give the average player the chance to fight back. That's all we would say.
If counter is more effective, if it turns out to be more effective, the early days of this patch are going to be an absolute slaughter of arty. Because just what Granny said. Yeah. So many people don't even bother moving anymore.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. I'm like, all right.
I want to play a couple of days worth.
Of course, there may be people of like mind. You better be moving. Like when you shoot and that big tracer goes off, you better be skedaddling. And guess what?
You don't want to be watching your shot in. You just want to get
and
moving.
If you have a slow one, you're probably in trouble.
Yeah. Imagine the FB 304. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. That'll be raging around like a wheelie.
All right. Well, that is it for subjects du jour. You got anything else, Pilgrim?
I've got the winner of last week's competition, G. Wyatt, who's now received his 500 gold. Well done, buddy. Congratulations. Changing the format slightly, we'll go back to for the competition this week. I'll give the quick question out, and then the first three answers that come up on Twitch, Plymouth Rock way, yeah, close. The first three correct answers that come up on Twitch today, right now, will win the 500 gold. Because I think giving it a week's delay was unfair to a number of people because they couldn't get in, and also if it's to me. If you're going to give me the answer, it's to me. So just if you can either get me in Discord, you can put a whisper on this, or you can get me in game, PM me in game. The answers. If I do another, let's do it over a week. But for this week, it's going to be right now, right here, and it's a 3-part question as per usual.
Yeah, and like you said, in the future, we'll have you send the stuff to Pilgrim. So we don't have any issues with timestamps and when it got to me and when it got to him and all that stuff. We had a small issue with that last week. To be honest, I don't know when the one came in and when it didn't. So I just forwarded it to Pilgrim. He'd already had a winner. So instead of getting into this whole nitnoid, it's meant to be just a casual, easy, fun thing. But if we have, we'll take the middleman out. It'll go to Pilgrim, and then he'll determine the winner. Let me go real quick to where did it go? Randall, I saw something about that. I don't know much about it. My understanding is that Steam has a package that we don't get. I mean, who didn't see that coming, even though they said it wasn't going to happen? Does that mean that package won't show up in the store at some point for everybody else? I have no essay on that. Yeah, I have no essay on that. I don't even know why you would want to play this through Steam at this point, but there you go.
Well, it's odd to me because that's a third party bringing it in. You know what I mean? Why? When you've already got a command center, and you know. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. What do you got?
Right. Question then. Here we go. It's a 3-part question that involves the North American continent and the United Kingdom. So everybody gets a chance. Sorry, Aussies, but you're not included in this. But you can answer the question if you want. Yeah, exactly. Let's get. Oh, I've just crashed my blue light.
Oh, don't drop it. It'll stop working. If you hit it hard enough, it stops.
There you go. Okay, for 500 gold. Okay, it's a 3-part question. Here we go, and it's dead easy. So get your Google fingers going, guys. It's a good easy one this time. I'll even take answers from Grinny, bless her. Right.
Jazz hands.
Okay, the first part of the question then is: which general led the American army on the Western Front in the First World War? That's the first part. Second part: which country supplied most of the combatants against the Germans at Vimy Ridge or Vimy Ridge? And the third part is: what was the name of the British grenade that was introduced in 1915? Full name, please, of the British
John
grenade
Smith.
that was introduced. No, yeah, close.
Oh.
Okay, so do you need the questions again, everybody? Oh, Grinny knows already, look. So, first question: which general led the American army in the Western Front in the First World War? Which country supplied the most of the combatants against the Germans at Vimy or Vimy Ridge? And what was the name of the British grenade introduced in 1915? First, with the 3 answers in one answer, if you see what I mean. I don't need 3 answers coming. General Plymouth Rock. Close, Wayne. Oh, dear.
Let me see if I can figure it out.
Yeah, see if Google will help you. And the normal form is that you'll need to give in-game name to either myself or
All right,
Guido.
I know 2.
Okay.
And the 1915.
500 gold. Here we go. If you don't get it, guys, we will roll it to next week. But no increase in gold. Because I'm a right meanie.
Oh, I think I know him.
A rather masochistic part of me wants the Australian to win this. Even though he called me a stingy pom.
Let's see.
While Grinny's on, my apologies, I didn't get to platoon with you the other day. I got called away to do FaceTime for the grandkids and ended up telling them bedtime stories for like an hour before they would go to sleep.
Wait a minute, you prioritized your grandkids over playing this game?
I know, it's terrible. I should have put him with Grinny, really, shouldn't I?
Jeez Louise, what kind of monster are you?
I know. I feel really like I feel a failure now at this point in time. You know what? This is harder than I thought it would be. I thought people would just smash these three. They're so easy to get. But anyway,
Well, those three
how long
right?
do you want to give it, Guido? How long do you want to give it, mate?
Oh, are mine right? Down in a whisper. Don't advertise it. But
Oh, yeah. I'll have a look now. Hang on. Where's my whispers gone? I've lost my whispers. Where are they?
where's the whispers?
Yeah. Hang on. Because I'm in silly mode. Hang on. There we are. Yeah, Guido, you've won the 500 gold, but not
Yeah,
really.
I didn't do the full name on some of them either, but there you go.
No, cool.
This one was fairly easily Googleable, actually.
It's Googleable.
Googleable. Well, I appreciate everybody coming by while you guys figured that out and we get a winner. Obvious reasons and terrifying Dr. Love. Thanks for the follows, much appreciated. Googleable.
Googleable. Yeah, they are Googleable.
I will be
But
streaming.
if nobody gets it,
Go ahead.
if nobody gets it, I will run it next week, and it will be 1,000 gold. So they're all never going to answer it to this week, are they?
Sue texts a bit, so I can't even look at it. I will look into the audio podcast. That's actually a good idea. Hopefully I can upload that stuff more or less free. I guess I probably need an iTunes account to do that. Or some kind of account. So I'll look into the various platforms for doing an audio podcast and just upload the audio. That's not a bad idea. Left Shoe, you can put him in chat actually, or just send him a whisper, however you want to do it there, Pilgrim.
No, what? Sorry.
Left Shoe's asking, he has the answers where to send. Yeah, just
Oh yes, send me a whisper.
whisper
whisper.
in chat. I mean, if you think it's right, throw it in chat. Who cares?
Oh no, put it in chat. You don't need to put it
Then
in
everybody,
whisper.
can see.
Yeah, please do. Put it in chat. Cliffy's sent me a whisper, but he doesn't want to win. Cliffy, you got it right.
So I think it's
That's Guido and Cliffy.
it's General Powell, Colin Powell. It's John Smith is the grenade's name, son of Junior, son of John Smith Senior. What was the other one? The troops.
Yeah. Which country supplied the most combatants against the Germans?
I believe it was the Starks.
There you go.
I believe it was
Left
the
Shoe
Starks.
is the winner of 500 gold. Well done, Left Shoe. It was who, Guido?
The Starks.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
correct.
House Stark. House Stark from
The
the
Klingons.
King of the North.
Klingons
Yeah.
decided it. So, Left Shoe, if you want to just whisper your in-game name and server, I'll sort you out with the prize, mate. Well done, Left Shoe. And to all the rest of you who whispered but didn't want to win, you are very generous. Thank you very much. In fact, Guido got it wrong. He called it a different grenade, but we will go with that.
It is the number 15 ball grenade.
Yeah, it was actually, yeah. But it's
But also commonly known as the Mills.
Mills bomb. Number
Yeah,
15.
Mills bomb. Yeah, number 15. Yeah, that's cool.
It's rigged. Wait, rigged.
Rigged. It's all rigged. All right,
Yeah.
guys. As always, appreciate you guys come by. I will be streaming Monday afternoon. I will probably be streaming in the evenings most of the week, at least a couple days. Let's not say most, a couple days at least, depending on how things are going. And then you should see me Thursday at the standard time slot around 11 Central Time or so, and on into the early afternoon here in the U.S. So Pershing was a military genius. He knew long-term politics. Yeah, Pershing was pretty cool.
Actually, yeah, he was one of your best generals. Yeah. Absolutely awesome.
That is it from the left side of the Atlantic. Guido signing off.
And it is from the correct side of the Atlantic. Pilgrim signing off.
See ya.